6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Anjana Duramguda and read by Ramesh Peris. First, the headlines. The President instructs the IGP to investigate on fake Dalada Maligava being constructed in Kurunegala. The Prime Minister requests lawmakers to dedicate to strengthen the local economy. More ships of coal are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka within this month. The ICTA seeks to enhance cooperation with Bangladesh ICT sector. Laos reduces prices of domestic gas cylinders. In news overseas, panic in Indian town after cracks in homes due to gradual land subsidence. In sports football, former Chelsea, Juventus, Sampdoria and Italy striker Gianluca Vialli dies at the age of 58. Now the local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed the Inspector General of Police, C.D. Wickremaratne, to immediately start investigations regarding the request made by the Mahanaka Theras of Asgari and Malwatu chapters and the Diyapadana Nilame of the Dalada Maligava regarding a fake Dalada Maligava is being constructed in Wadakada, Kurunegala. Accordingly, the Inspector General of Police said that investigations commenced immediately under Deputy Inspector General of Criminal Investigations Department and 2 investigation teams under the supervision of an Assistant Superintendent of Police. Meanwhile, Sepal Amarasinghe, who was arrested for making statements defaming the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, has been remanded until January 10th by the Colombo Additional Magistrate. The Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, on behalf of the government and Parliament, requested lawmakers from all parties to join hands in working actively for the development of all sectors, prioritizing food security and the revival of the local economy. The Prime Minister added while addressing the House at the first sitting in the new year on Thursday this week. The Prime Minister said working towards achieving such should be done in strategies to strengthen the local economy that affects people's lives in Sri Lanka to further advance parliamentary democracy at a time when the country is about to celebrate the 75th year of independence. While stating that the government, including the President, has taken many measures regarding economic, social, legal and international relations, the Prime Minister highlighted that though there are problems with the cost of living, Parliament should work together to transform this year into a year where everyone can come together to overcome challenges. 7 ships of coal are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka within this month, according to Shehan Sumanasekara, Chairman of the Managing Director of Lanka Coal Company. Accordingly, 7 ships, each carrying 60,000 metric tons of coal, are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka in early January. These coal ships are to be unloaded at Putlam Harbour, and the coal will be transported from there to Lakbija Power Plant in Norwich. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news. The High Commission of Sri Lanka in Dhaka organized a virtual meeting with the participation of Communication Technology Agency in Sri Lanka and the Bangladesh Association of Software and Information Services on 5th January to explore the opportunities of enhancing cooperation in the ICT sector and the digital economy of both countries. Making a comprehensive presentation, Associate Chief Digital Economic Officer of ICTA, Sachindra Samararatne, and Director Industry Development of ICTA, Chiranti Balapatwandi, explained Sri Lanka's ICT industry, its strengths and potential areas that can be collaborated. They also elaborated Sri Lanka's 5-year strategy to develop the country's digital economy. The government yesterday announced that measures would be taken to restrict the import of gold to the country. An extraordinary gazette notification was issued yesterday restricting imports of gold over 22 carats as jewellery. According to State Minister of Finance, Ranjit Siambalapitiya, who took to Twitter to share the update, the decision was made to prevent smuggling of gold. Sri Lanka Customs went on record recently highlighting the incidence of gold smuggling to Sri Lanka is on the rise. According to the authority, the majority of the smuggling is from India and Sri Lanka is used as a transit point. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Moving on to the main news story. Lav's Gas plc, one of the country's two largest suppliers of domestic liquefied petroleum gas, has announced a reduction in price of LP gas cylinders. Accordingly, a 12.5 kilogram cylinder of LP gas will now be sold at 5,080 rupees within the Colombo district, while a 5 kilogram cylinder will be sold at 2,032 rupees. Meanwhile, consumers residing in other localities have been requested to contact the customer service hotline 1345 in order to find out the price reduction of Lav's domestic LP gas cylinders within their respective districts. And that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu products from Siddhalepa.
Medical Officer of the Sexually Transmitted Diseases Prevention Unit in Mahamudra Hospital in Gaul, Dr. Darshini Vijay Vikrama said 25 HIV infected had been identified in 2021 at the Mahamudra Hospital and 36 for the last year. She pointed out that there would be more patients who contracted the disease and were yet to be identified. Dr. Vijay Vikrama further said the majority of them were males about 20 years of age. Dr. Vijay Vikrama added 427 patients have been reported from the country from January to September last year. And that came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news is next. Moving on to the bulletin of world news, first the headlines. Panic in Indian town after cracks in homes due to gradual land subsidence. Deadly riots grip Mexican state after arrest of drug lord son. WhatsApp to enable messaging in internet blackouts. Now the world news in detail. Residents of Joshima town in northern India crossed by the Himalayas are demanding evacuation and rehabilitation after large cracks appeared in their homes. On Thursday, officials stopped several construction projects after thousands of protesters blocked a national highway in the Himalayan state. District officials have said that cracks have developed in more than 500 houses in the area due to gradual land subsidence, which refers to the ground slowly sinking. Gunfights have broken out in the capital of Mexico, Sinaloa state, after security forces captured one of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's son, who is wanted by the U.S. on drug trafficking charges. Defense Secretary Luis Crescencio Sandoval said Army and National Guard personnel captured 32-year-old Ovidio Guzman in a pre-dawn operation in Culiacan. Instant messaging service WhatsApp is letting users connect via proxy servers so they can stay online if the internet is blocked or disrupted by shutdowns. The technology giant, owned by Meta, said it hoped blackouts such as those in Iran never occur again. They denied human rights and cut people off from receiving urgent help. WhatsApp is urging its global community to volunteer proxies to help people communicate freely and said it would offer guidance on how to set one up. Back to the headlines of the world news. Panic in Indian town after cracks in homes due to gradual land subsidence. Deadly riots grip Mexican state after arrest of drug lord son. And WhatsApp to enable messaging in internet blackouts. And that concludes world news.
Development news.
Moving on to development news. Lotus Tower head of management says that they have reached 500,000 visitors this morning since the tower opened to the public. He told that the 500,000 ticket was sold to a person who arrived from the Mathur area and was rewarded with a plaque and a gift voucher. He said more than 268 million rupees revenue was collected since the day the tower opened for public visits. A total of 4,083 foreigners visited the tower. The Lotus Tower will be open for visitors on weekdays from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. and on weekends from 12 noon to 12 p.m. And that was development news. Moving on to sports news, former Chelsea striker and manager Gianluca Vialli, who played 59 times for Italy, has died at the age of 58. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2017, but said in April 2020 that he had been given the all clear. Vialli was re-diagnosed in 2021 and in December 2022 left a role with Italy's national team to focus on his health. The FIGC confirmed that a minute's silence in memory of Vialli will be held before all Italian matches this weekend. And that was sports news.
Let us turn this difficult time that we are facing now to a positive opportunity. We must rise up as a nation in 2023. NSB will extend its fullest support for you to rise with confidence. NSB, the safest place for you.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Florida, USA-based Karma Services LLC, a healthcare recruitment agency in association with Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Agency, has offered 550 jobs to Sri Lankan nurses, laboratory technicians and nursing assistants, Foreign Ministry said. Karma Services LLC has offices in India, UAE and USA, and it recruits healthcare professionals globally. Karma Services has offered jobs for 250 registered nurses, 100 laboratory technicians and 200 nursing assistants. And that was business news.
Economic news, courtesy of
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank.
Let us turn this difficult time that we are facing now to a positive opportunity. We must rise up as a nation in 2023. NSB will extend its fullest support for you to rise with confidence. NSB, the safest place for you.
Economic news, courtesy of
For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC, imagine the possibilities.
In economic news, Trade Minister Nalin Fernando said Sri Lanka's cabinet of ministers had given the go-ahead to import eggs as domestic prices rose steeply after price controls disrupted farming on top of a currency collapse. Trade Minister Nalin Fernando told reporters in Colombo after a cabinet meeting Monday the cabinet of ministers gave the go-ahead to take decisions according to the needs of the people and import if necessary. And that was economic news. The weather report.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall Gold Award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather Report.
Finally, on to the weather report. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in northern, north central, eastern, Uva and central provinces. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the eastern province and Pudunarwa district. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere during the afternoon or night. Fairly heavy showers about 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragama province and in the Kanadara and Gaur districts. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thundershowers. And that was the weather report. To conclude this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The President instructs the IGP to investigate on fake Dhanada Malikava being constructed in Kurunegala. The Prime Minister requests lawmakers to dedicate to strengthen the local economy. More ships of coal are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka within this month. The ICTA seeks to enhance cooperation with Bangladesh ICT sector. Labs reduces prices of domestic gas cylinders. In foreign news, panic in India town after cracks in homes due to gradual land subsidence. In sports football, former Chelsea, Juventus, Sampdoria and Italy striker Gianluca Vialli dies at the age of 58. And that concludes this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.